student loans. They never seem to go away, but thank goodness people keep talking about them on TikTok. Today we're going to be looking at some crazy TikToks where people made, pretty terrible decisions in their life. Obviously, the cost of college has increased over about 180% over the past, 30 years or something. And the average real adjusted earnings have only gone up 20%. So college seems to be a worse and worse situation for most people. Is that good for the country, indebting the younger generation, in putting them in debt shackles so they can't consume a lot to stimulate the economy? Who knows? Probably not. But the more important thing is this situation allows us to dig into all the fun TikToks of people who have made absolutely beautiful decisions with their student loans. And we're going to learn something today. So let's get right into it.
I truthfully had no idea. And I checked my credit today because I need to apply for an apartment. And it shows that I have 63 missed payments because I have multiple student loans. Because I went to college for a long time. 63 missed payments. It's like 90% impacting my credit, something like that. I don't know. 90% highly impacted. I don't even know.
Even if she had 10 different disbursements, let's say she even had 12, that's still like 5 months you just weren't paying. Like, how did you not notice that? You were like, man, I got a lot more money in my bank account. Whatever, I'm not going to worry about it. Like, stay on top of your finances, guys. I mean, 63 missed payments is, ooh, yeah, her credit's crushed.
What the numbers mean anymore. I'm like going insane. These people were so unhelpful. They're like, were you in the military? No. Were you in school at the time of the missed payments? No. Well, it was your job to update us. And I'm like, as soon as I knew, I updated you.
Yeah, as soon as, like, essentially she saw it on her credit. Like, they know. I mean, they know you've missed payments. And she's like, yeah, well, I'm telling you now I missed payments because it's affecting me. Yeah, because someone else let you know. It's not like you're tackling this on your own. Like, you figured it out because you couldn't do something you wanted to do. It's not like you were like, hey guys, I missed a payment last month. You haven't been paying for at least 6 months, it seems like. I mean, that seems like a little bit of a gross oversight, especially when, if she had, like, we're giving her the benefit of the doubt that it's been at least like 6 months. Um, you have 10 student loans. I can't imagine that's a small monthly payment that comes out of your bank account that all of a sudden you are missing. I'm sure she was just like, whatever, it's great. I have more money now. And then obviously it's kicking us in the butt because we didn't check why all of a sudden our student loans weren't going through. I can't imagine she thought she paid it off.
Like, we don't do goodwill adjustments. So good luck. Over time, your credit will increase. I'm like, my credit score dropped like almost 200 points because of this. Like, I can't get approved for an apartment. Like, there's got to be something. There's got to be something. Like, I had no
There is. And it's unfortunately the consequence of your actions. A running theme on this channel.
clue. And she said, I can't help you with housing. I hope the situation gets better for you. I'm like, how? It won't. You know it won't.
No, it will. You'll make payments, right? You'll steadily improve your credit score. But in the meantime, you're going to have to find probably a cheaper apartment, a less desirable apartment. But once again, you got the most valuable thing you could have gotten out of this situation. You learned. Like, you realized, I'm probably never going to make this mistake again. I should probably stay on top of my finances. And 63 payments. Ooh, I hope she doesn't have a ton of interest that recapitalized off that. But if it stings that harder, the lessons learned that much more.
I know it won't. Like, this is what I can't. What do I do? And I was like, I'm just a phone call, and you're gonna have another phone call next. But like, this is my life. And she's like, I can't give you advice on your life. I don't want your advice.
Yeah, she just wants it to magically go away, even though she didn't make the payments. Like, if your employer just didn't pay you for 6 months, you can't just be like, hey, well, oops, don't sue me over this. We just had an accounting error that we just never dug into and magically had more money in our payroll account than we thought. But, we're not going to worry about that. If money magically stops coming out of our account, we're never going to question it. And we're going to be like, probably use that money. Or hopefully, when she wasn't making those payments, she saved it all. We know that didn't happen, so rip.
I don't want 63 missed payments.
Make the payments. Holy crap, what a surprise. This isn't the only one, you know. We got people who are making payments who are responsible still. You know, but sometimes, even though we do have scholarships, we still end up taking out massive student loans because sometimes the scholarships don't cover it enough. Or maybe we want to go back to school. Maybe we want to go back to graduate school and further our education just a bit more.
I have $200,000 worth of student debt and I'm pretty ashamed of it. But here's the real tragedy.
She is ashamed of it, though. Impressive.
I got a full scholarship to college. My student debt came from graduate school and a certificate I earned after graduate school. If I'm being honest, I really regret it. I regret going to graduate school when I did, and I regret paying out of pocket for it myself. When I graduated from college, I was 21 years old, and I did the thing that I thought was best. I decided to go to graduate school because that's what most members of my family did. They went to graduate school, and so in following in many of their footsteps, I went to pursue my master's degree. Making this decision to go to graduate school, I listened to what some of my family members were talking about when it comes to earning potential.
$200,000 for a master's degree? I can't even contemplate that. Like, a master's degree is a year? I have to Google this. Master's, 1 to 2 years. So let's say she even like $100,000 a year after you had school paid off. Well, I mean, maybe. I mean, if the master's is going to pay you that much more, but usually you don't get paid $200,000 worth of debt more.
It was
Oh, also, graduate programs, they have higher interest rates too. Go figure.
pretty much drilled into me that if I wanted my earning potential to match my white counterparts, that I would have to have a graduate degree.
Okay, interesting thing there. You're like, well, I gotta do it I gotta keep up with the whites.
A graduate degree was simply not optional. As a Black woman without a backup plan, I thought that I was securing my financial future by investing in my education.
By taking out tons of debt? Like I said, unless she's making tons more income, you got college paid for. Your financial future was secure. You got your degree and you didn't have to pay anything. Dude, bags secured. Why are we now rolling the dice on debt? To maybe make more? I'm assuming she's making this video because it didn't pay off. Because if it paid off, she wouldn't be complaining. Like, I took out, I've said it on a ton of videos, $420,000 for my dental school education. I complain a little bit, but I will never say it wasn't worth it because it was. My job is great, and it definitely, like, the return on investment there is incredible. But why? We had the bag. Why did we throw it away?
When I say without a backup plan, what I specifically mean is I just couldn't move home with my parents. That was not an option available to me because of my circumstances. Some of the comments that I am seeing in response to the Biden-Harris loan forgiveness program have me shook because I am just like, if you only knew. Yes, this program is going to get some people completely out of student loan debt. But for someone like me, this is just a start. Like I said, I have over $200K in student loans. So, and I'm eligible for $20,000, thank goodness. And so that's going to take me to about $180,000 still left to pay. Some of the comments that have been the hardest to read are the ones that say things like, well, it's your responsibility. You knew what you were signing up for. Yes, it is my responsibility.
Oh my God, yes, accountability. We love
But
it.
I don't think I understood the magnitude of what I was signing up for.
She said she was 21, graduated. So this is a college-educated 21-year-old, and she is saying she doesn't understand the magnitude of the loan she took out. So can she get a mortgage? Is she allowed to get a mortgage? Like, it's
I was so focused on securing my financial future and
by going into more debt. Like, it's securing my financial future. You had a degree. You had it.
creating stability in my life, and also trying to address the issues of pay inequity that
Pay inequity, if you believe that, right, is going to be regardless. Like, you're going to have, if you get a master's, they're going to compare your pay to other people with masters. And if the pay is unequal because of your, like, demographics, it's going to be the same. Like what are we? That's not fixing the problem. And you're talking about the entire country. I never understand when people are like, your financial situation is just you. It's not the whole country. Okay. There's plenty of black women who are very successful. They're very successful. Okay. You can't worry about the whole country when it comes to your financial stuff. You just do your thing. Her saying, well, I wanted to make as much as my white counterparts. Don't worry about anybody else. It's just you. You're the only one responsible for these debts. You're the only one responsible for making your own income. And to be honest, nobody cares. Nobody cares. No one else is going to care about your financial stuff as much as you. And she admits she made a pretty poor decision. Yeah, because you took out a ton of debt when you had a free ride. Like, what are we talking about? And like my younger brother just got into a master's program at UCLA, very expensive, all free from his company. And I think he only makes like $20,000 more to have his master's. So it's like, I hope she didn't do this to make $20,000 more a year.
I made a pretty poor decision. Hindsight is
Because realistically, if she took $200,000 of debt out and like, let's say a 7% interest rate on grad, it might even be more now. It might be like 8, 9. That's $14,000 a year in after-tax pay just to hit the interest every, like, man.
truly 2020. When you know better, you do better. And if I had known better, I would not have taken out all of these student loans.
I mean, some accountability there. She gets that she made a bad decision, but golly, dude, fumbled the bag. But I mean, it's obviously the system. We love blaming the system, especially when we're doing bad, because there's this fun thing called cognitive dissonance, right? And if you make a bad decision, you have to accept that, and that hurts your ego because no one thinks they're making bad decisions because everyone thinks they're really smart and they're making good decisions. So clearly, if I made a bad decision, it must be due to the system. It's a great way to just kind of deal with your ego, defend it, and it seems to be a popular thing here on the TikTok.
So the fucked up thing about student loan debt in the United States is that even if you file for bankruptcy, it doesn't go away.
It's literally one of the worst types of debt.
Like, you're still stuck with it forever. Which means that you are stuck between two different types of anxiety experience in your life. The anxiety of having $130,000 in student loan debts that you take very seriously and you try very hard to pay off. Or the anxiety of having $130,000 in student loan debt that you've decided, fuck it, I didn't ask to be born into this system anyway, I'm not gonna pay it off.
You didn't ask to be born into the system, but you did take advantage of their money to go to college. So it's like, the system's so bad, but I will get my part and then just not contribute back into the system.
And they can't put you in prison or jail or anything like that, but yeah, your life will be a little inconvenient. They'll call you a bunch, they'll hound you for it. It's like a fucked up choose your own adventure. But no matter what, I think it's important to remember this. You did not create the system, you were just trying to survive in it. And all you can do is your best. And if your best isn't good enough for them, they should have thought of that before they loaned you 6 figures worth of debt as a teenager, probably.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. You should have thought of it before you took out those loans and are now going to deal with the consequences. Like, the system does its thing because a majority of people do pay, and for a majority of people still, even though college is so expensive, does offer them a great opportunity to go to this college and further their professional careers, make more income over their entire life, because not everybody can afford college. I mean, that's the idea. They're giving you a loan so you can better yourself. And then you pay it back. But obviously some people are like, no, I just wanted to go to college for some reason and I'm not paying it back because I can't pay it back. Because honestly, they probably should have never gone to college. And yeah, it is silly that they loan them this money. It is the system. But it's weird to take advantage of the system. And then once your responsibilities of the benefits you took advantage of come due, to be like, oh no, this system's rigged, I'm not going to participate in this. It's like, dude, you already participated. You got like the good part. And now that the payback comes, you're like, oh, no, this system is totally rigged. I don't like any of this.
That sounds like a them problem, not a you problem to me. And there are practical things you can do to help a little. You can defer your student loan payments when you hit economic hardship. I've done that twice in my life. And you can also get set up on an income-based repayment plan, which will help manage your stress if your income is low.
I mean, good tips. Deferring, never great because they'll recapitalize your interest, which means like your effective interest is going to go up quite a bit. But it's the system, dude. But there are fancy ways of getting out of debt. And we're about to find out some of those ways together.
I am $200,000 in debt. Yes, you heard that right. How did that happen? I decided to spend a lot of money to spend my 20s in a classroom studying and learning how to be a doctor.
$200K to be a doctor? That's great, dude. She's going to crush it. That's like almost 1-to-1 income once she gets out of residency. She's gonna be fine.
Basically, I went to medical school and it's very expensive. So right now I'm a resident physician and the average salary is about $60,000. So you can do the math and realize that it's really hard to pay off debt when you are only making $60,000. My plan.
Yeah, but the idea is not to pay off debt now. That's just so you don't have to go into more debt. Like, you shouldn't be going into more debt while you're working. Like, that's so you can, live and usually make maybe income-based repayments on your loans so that way, the interest isn't getting crazy. But I mean, you're not supposed to be paying these loans off yet. Like, you're technically still in training. Like, you're kind of still in school, but you're getting paid for it. But you're not having to go into more debt. So this is great. She's doing just fine.
Is pretty unconventional, but I am planning to use money that I make on social media, like this account and my IG, to start to pay back my medical student loans. A lot of people do not realize how lucrative social media and being an influencer online can be. I could post a video and make a couple grand, and I would have to work like 2 weeks in residency to make that amount of money.
She's going to be selling a course.
So basically, my plan is that I use my regular salary as a resident to pay for my daily expenses, and then any money that I make on social media, I don't touch, and I view that as money for my student loans. Last year, I made approximately $60,000 just from being a part-time influencer, which is why
Making $60,000 online as someone who does make content, albeit very, very haphazardly, it's pretty hard to do. It's not the easiest thing in the world. People love lying about how much income they make. I always am curious. I'm like, let me see your taxes that year. I want to see what you actually made.
wild to think. A good chunk of that money is going to be used to pay off $200,000 of debt for medical school. I know a lot of people watching me can relate to my story and they have debt or they just want extra income, but you're working a full-time job or you're a full-time student, and I totally get that. That's why I made an ebook that's all about how to be a part-time influencer so that you can have the same strategy as me and use social media as a way to make extra money.
Yep, she's selling books, selling courses. I mean, it's the same thing. This is like any debt category you look up on TikTok. There's someone selling a course to be like, you can just make $60,000 in a couple of months. You just got to buy my course. Like, just buy my course. There's no way she made $60,000. She's just lying. And even if she did, she's low key. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Kind of scum, dude. She's gonna be a doctor. She took up $200,000 to go to med school. She's a resident. And then she's going to be hawking like social media courses, which are pretty much that she bought from probably someone else. Because all of these things, like, you buy from one of a couple companies that I'm not going to name, but you guys can easily look them up. And then you sell them for anywhere from like $49. And you try and get people to buy the more and more expensive courses that end up costing like $2,000. And it says stuff that's readily available on the internet, and it doesn't help you do anything because you have to build up a following. And you can't really build up a following by telling people they're going to get rich quick. It's old as hell, and all these people do is fake their videos, fake their views. They bot everything just to get more eyes, to be like, oh, because someone is down in the dirt who actually has real debt, has no real way of getting out of it because their income potential is extremely limited, unlike this doctor's. And they buy your course hoping to further their life, get out of the pit that they're in. And instead, they're giving money to this person who's already realistically going to be very successful in their life. Like, it's scum behavior, dude. Well, off to the next video. $200,000 in debt for a Bachelor of Fine Arts. Works every time.
Here. My third semester of AMDA, they bumped up the tuition. We were all like, why? Nothing changed at all. Our buildings did not have any improvement. We did not receive any materials in the school. And they still stuck 2 people in single bedrooms. Where did the money go? When I worked as a lighting
In their pockets. Like, these universities are businesses. I think everybody's fully aware of this now. These universities are businesses. They raise the tuition every year. I mean, it's going into their pockets. Obviously, they're not going to raise tuition and then immediately give you a new dorm, new buildings. Like, plus that takes years to do. They can't do that overnight.
Board operator at AMDA, I would always hear all of the technicians and the crew members who were freelance, who were employed for the school, not students. They always complained and spoke about how they were not getting paid enough. And because there were no improvements to the school, where's this money going? I understand that our professors are working professionals, but I know that all of that money was not going to them.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think the university raises tuition and then immediately like equally distributes it amongst all the employees? Like, I don't. Where are these ideas coming from? But it's okay. You got spent $250,000 or $200,000 for a Bachelor of Fine Arts. I'm sure that's going to pay off in the end. No worries, not a problem. But you know what is a good thing to do to pay off your student loans? If you guys don't recognize this face, that's from one of our first videos. She used to be $400,000 in debt, if she's to be believed. And now, look, a couple years later, she's in $200,000 worth of debt. So obviously, we can pay it off. We can get stuff done, guys. We can pay these loans off. We just got to buckle down and get a job and chip away.
I am $200,000 in debt. Student loans are no joke and cause a lot of anxiety for me, and I know for everyone else. For a really long time, I literally thought I was just never gonna get out of debt. And then I decided to start looking into side hustles that actually make you money.
She's selling a course, so no.
In the past month, I've applied to like 5 class action lawsuits. I've literally been making so much money off of these. I don't even have to do anything. I just put my information in, and I use the Sparrow app. The Sparrow app is my favorite because they keep all of the class actions in one place. You can find out when new ones are coming, which ones are ending.
Okay, so this is just an ad for the Sparrow app. Let me look this up. Okay, I looked it up. Apparently it's $15 a month. It's $99 a year, and yeah, they just automatically apply you to all the class action lawsuits. There's no way you're going to make that much money off class action lawsuits. And if you expect class action lawsuits to get you out of your debt, like, oh, class action lawsuits will get me out of my mortgage debt. Like, it's not a lot of money, guys. Like, you're not living your life and then all of a sudden you're owed money from all these class action lawsuits. A lot of the big ones that you'll be like automatically in is like if AT&T leaks your information, they're going to give you like $15, okay? If you want to make money in a lawsuit, you have to have real damages, guys. There's not just secret money hiding out there that you have to pay someone $15 a month to get access to. Like, what? But hey, class action lawsuits, that's how I'm going to get out of debt. What the hell, dude? I mean, the desperation on TikTok is out of control. And our next one, $300,000 of student debt. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? I mean, so far, the answer to that is no. But maybe this one will change our mind.
I owe over $300,000 in student loans. Let me tell you how. So I'm a nurse practitioner. My husband is a pharmacist.
They got to make $200,000 easy, maybe even $250,000. Totally fine debt load. I mean, not great. We don't love it. But once again, they're going to be fine.
My husband went to private school for his entire pharmacy school. I went to a public university for my nursing degree and then a private school for my nurse practitioner degree.
Oof.
We both took out student loans for everything. At 18, you think you're going to be able to pay everything back because both of those jobs make good money. So why am I complaining? This economy is just so expensive right now. I know it's our fault, I guess, for taking out all these loans.
It's the economy. You just live a normal life. Like, I feel like the problem is people take out student loans, okay? And they're like, it's okay, I'll be able to pay it back because I'm making this big income. But in their head, they actually don't account for paying back the student loans. They just see the income, and then that's the life they want to live. And they start living their life according to their income. But then when they have to start paying their student loans back, they're like, wait a second. I don't get to live the life I thought I was going to live because I have to pay off these things. What? No. And it's like, I don't know. People just like black that out the entire time. Because these people can live a totally great upper middle class life. Easily, by the way. easily will not be that hard. But they have to make a couple sacrifices, and it's just so hard, and the system's so broken, and the economy's so bad as a high earner. It's like, man, all the people who are losing their jobs, me and my husband work in healthcare, and our jobs are super secure. Man, but the economy, think about us, guys. Think about us.
But I would love to be able to pay them off. So here I am on TikTok working to have extra income. So I would love if you follow me along on this journey to paying off our loans and just, living life the best we can in the current circumstances. So tell me how much you owe in student loans and if you regret it.
Oh my gosh. So she's going on TikTok to make pennies. I mean, she could pick up one more shift and make way more. But obviously, everybody likes the easy money, right? Because nobody wants to work more. There's a famous thing of employees. We have it at our office of like, hey, I need more hours. I need more hours. And you're like, okay, you can work more hours. And then the moment you're like, hey, do you want to leave early today? They're like, yep, I'm out of here. And I'm like, I thought you needed to work more hours. They're like, no, actually, I got something to do at the house. And anytime anybody at work says they need more hours, they really just mean they need more money, right? That's what they mean. They don't want to work the hours. They just want more money to do essentially the same thing, which I don't blame them. Everybody wants to get more money to do less stuff. But man, these healthcare providers, I don't know why it irks me so much where I'm like, you make good money to like blame the economy and other things that really don't affect the healthcare system that much and employment is kind of messed up because there's people who are actually really struggling who could use these views and like you're leeching off of it just because you want to live like even higher on the horse than you already are. It's just, I don't know, it's scummy behavior, but it's the life we live on. That's what shows up on TikTok, guys. Sorry for the late video. Apparently my upload schedule is once a month now. That's the schedule we're on. But no, I'll try and make more videos. I have plenty of time. I'm just being lazy. And I might do a live stream tonight. We'll see. But hey, like, subscribe. It means a lot to me. Obviously, I'm a very small YouTuber. And don't give money to all these people selling courses. They're all scammers. And these people who make high income, don't give them any of your views. Okay, I already gave them enough. Love you guys.